This match preview would have come in so much earlier, but the story of Ronaldo really destabilized us because it was like a breaking story about him being at loggerheads with Erik ten Hag, and we decided to do that first, and then we are back with the match preview of Everton versus Manchester United after losing 6-3 to Manchester City. That is the Manchester derby, where most of the players of United were really off, and they really looked very bad. You can't come out and really allow your team to lose in a fixture of Everton. That's it. We just have to come in through and really collect 3 points anyhow, lead. But I believe that Erik ten Hag really has a plan to go in and read against Everton in there for you. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, go into the lower right bottom corner, smash the subscription button. After smashing, hit the notification bell that whenever you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. It's the Premier League. It's match day 8 for Manchester United. We've played 7 games, won 4 and lost 3. And I believe it's a very good game to come in right about now from the Manchester derby, facing a side which goes by the names of Everton at Goodison Park. Though last time we played there, we lost to them by 1-0, but we are a much better side and with a much more better coach that has brought in players that are really here to go on and bid with the needful for a side which goes by names of Manchester United. Everton is not an easy nut to crack because they've gone ahead to win 2 and draw 1 out of their 3 games. That is something you should know about them, that Frank Lampard side. Obviously, from the Frank Lampard that really looked like he was going to be one of the managers to be sacked first, to Frank Lampard that has really gone ahead to secure 7 out of the possible 9 points in his previous 3 games, and obviously they're really playing very well. And this should be noted, they are a side that has conceded the least number of goals, and they've conceded 7 only. And we look at Manchester United, 6 against Man City, 1 against Arsenal, that's 7, 1 against Liverpool, that is 8, 4 against Brentford, that is 12, and 1 against Brighton, that is 13, meaning that we've conceded 6 more as far as this defense of United is concerned. But you can come out and say, all right, in those games that we considered very many goals, maybe Rafael Varane was not there. The game of Brentford, when Rafael Varane came in through, we never conceded. He never played the game of Brighton, right? He never played the game of Brighton that we lost 2-1 to. So that shows you that when you get off all those goals, the 4 against Brentford, the 2 against a side which goes by the names of Brighton, that is 6, and the 5 we considered against Man City, because for me I only count that 1 goal that went in through when Varane was physically fit. The others that came after Varane was out, because even if we came back on the field of play, it was already 2-0, and then that 3rd one that came in through and then was taken off the pitch, meaning that we've conceded 11 goals when Varane is not off the pitch in the Premier League. Meaning that if at all Varane manages to make it into the starting 11 of United, maybe we are going to be looking at a more good side, and we don't concede very many. So if at all you have to count those goals, those games that Rafael Varane has played, we've conceded how many goals? 3. 1 against Arsenal, 1 against Man City, 1 against Liverpool. And then we've kept 2 clean sheets and gone ahead to win all those games. So that is Rafael Varane for you, and that's why I'm really talking about him a lot, because I believe if at all he appears tomorrow into that game of football, things are really going to be so much different from how they were this time round. But before I get into what lineup I believe the manager is going to go on and really pick as far as this game of Everton is concerned, allow me first bring you these statistics that you need to know about United and Everton coming in from BBC. Now, when you look at this, they are telling us that Everton versus Manchester United, they've played 60 Premier League games amongst themselves. Then 10 wins for Everton, 37 wins for Manchester United. Obviously, United has been having an edge for so long. 59 goals scored by Everton, 109 goals scored by Manchester United. Manchester United has scored twice almost the number of goals a team which goes by names of Everton has scored. 10 clean sheets by Everton, 24 clean sheets by Manchester United, meaning that United has kept 14 more clean sheets than Everton. Now, when you look at the draws, these are 47, meaning that we've held 13 draws altogether. So that is coming in from BBC as far as that game of Everton is concerned, and that is it here onto the channel, which goes by the names of United Matters channel, and let's get into this very important game of analysis, into this game of football. So as per that, we get into this because you guys like this a lot, because most of the views you really come in through in the comment section and really give me about this. You are always telling me about Everton. You're always telling me about the predicted lineup. Who do you think should start? Obviously, and let's get straight into this because it's one of the most improved sides that United has always had as far as the fans are concerned. Positivity in the fans, and obviously going on to really give the manager the best of confidence and support that he really deserves at Old Trafford. Obviously, when you look at the system, 4-2-3-1, 4 defenders, 2 midfielders that are really shielding the back 4, 3 attacking midfielders and 1 centre forward. And now let's get straight into who is really going to start in the goal of Manchester United. Obviously, David De Gea is going to start in the game of Manchester United. To him, it's not sounding well stat-wise, conceding 8 in your previous 2 games, conceding 6 against Man City and 2 against Omonia. Although none of those goals was his blame, but obviously the central defense of the entire team of United was the one to blame. But David De Gea is held accountable because history will really read that he was the one in goal when we are conceding 6 against Man City. And I saw someone come out and really blaming Ronaldo, so blaming De Gea for that first goal he conceded against Omonia, that he would have really saved it. Guys, how do you watch this game of football? And I've seen people criticizing David De Gea about his ball distribution. And guys, if you saw him against Man City, he distributed that ball very well. If you saw him against Omonia, is different. And we saw him against Man City to bring you back to bring you up to speed. That second goal we scored, did you see how he really started that ball from the back and really played from the back? He found Casemiro found Lindelof found Dallo found a player who goes by the names of Ericsson switched play to find Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw cut inside and laid that pass to find Freddie. Freddie directed the shot to Ederson, the goalkeeper of Man City, that he couldn't handle, and obviously it met the head of Anton Martial, and the ball went back over the net. So if there is one of the most improved players as far as ball distribution is concerned, De Gea is really one of those. And I believe the manager is really getting a second thought that maybe I can stick with David De Gea in goal because he's really a good shot stopper, and he's showing me that he can really go on and really be a good distributor of the ball and press resistant, and his ball distribution is really improving. And secondly, about David De Gea, you can't lose out on a player like him in such a game, because you know that he's really a good shot stopper and is really going to go ahead and really give you command with experience that we are really having at Manchester United. When we go to the right back, Diego Dallo, obviously he's the most improved player under Erik ten Hag. He's really doing great into this game of football, and obviously a man from Portugal is really great. Coming in from 2018, at the age of 18, now he's at 22 years of age, just showing the team that, please, even though I have no competitor, I'm one of those players that really comes in through and puts in the shift game in, game out. And I believe if at all players like Sancho had this mentality, the Rashfords of this world, the Martials would have been a better team, because you don't need a competitor to go on and really showcase what you are all about. I think you just need to go on and really show us what your capabilities are all about and what your energies are all about in this game of football, because Dallo has no competitor. Even when Aaron Wan-Bissaka is there, he can't really come next to him. But the likes of Sancho have competitors like Rashford, Anton Martial, Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Danny Van Beek. They're having competitors, but if they had that mentality of Diego Dallo, that even if I have no competitor, I have to go on and really produce far much better than what I'm going to produce in the given game of football. So that is Diego Dallo for you, at a side which goes by the names of Manchester United. And now there is Luke Shaw coming in the left back position. I believe he's going to replace Malacia to come in and really start in this game of Everton. To me, I believe Malacia, those mistakes that really did don't cost him his position. That's why you see to it that the manager started him in the game of a team which goes by the names of Omonia. And don't be shocked tomorrow when Malacia starts again. That's it. because I believe in the game of Man City, it was because the midfield really let him down, and the player who goes by the names of Jadon Sancho couldn't track backwards to go on and really get this player onto the levels where it's supposed to be in there for you as far as that left back position is concerned for a team which goes by the names of Manchester United. So Luke Shaw is really doing great, and obviously he really went ahead to play very well in that game of Omonia when he came on, even the game of Man City when he came on through. And I believe he's going to start, but the manager might shock us and bring in Malacia for another time because Luke Shaw is returning from injury, and maybe the manager doesn't want really to see him really play him in very many games. But even if Malacia doesn't play any minute in this game of football, he's so blessed that on Thursday next week we are hosting Omonia at Old Trafford, and obviously he will have certain minutes in his legs. So I believe those are going to be the fullbacks of Manchester United, Dalot on the right and Luke Shaw onto the left. Let's go to the central defenders of Manchester United. Now, this is Victor Lindelof coming in through to play on the right central defense on the right of the central defense. You saw him cost us a goal, the second goal especially against a side which goes by the name of Omonia, after he really lost that ball in a very sensitive position, and obviously the entire back four was in transition, and them being in transition, they are beaten off by the Omonia side, and obviously the goal went to the back of the net. But he's starting tomorrow. All today depends on to the player who goes by names of Rafael Varane. That's it. If you've been reading everything concerning the news and Rafael Varane, the manager told us that Rafael Varane is not going to stay away for long, and it was not a ligament that really broken. It was just a different pull, and he drove himself to Old Trafford the next day, because if at all that foot was really seriously hurt, he wouldn't have even been able to put his foot to the pedal to drive to Old Trafford. But obviously he drove to Old Trafford, and that shows you that he might be part of this game of football. But the manager told us that he is really not going to take long. For Harry Maguire, he's going to be out for the next 10-14 days, meaning that we might not see Harry Maguire until the end of this month. So that is Victor Lindelof. The only way he's starting tomorrow is when Rafael Varane is really injured. But is really injured. But if at all he has really recovered and he passes the late fitness test, obviously the manager will really bring him in and play this game of football. But for me, I believe to spare Rafael Varane, I think it's better we let him rest. Even if he's available, I'd rather put him on the bench. Lindelof has played against Everton, and I think he can really go ahead and really partner up well with Lisandro Martinez. With the minutes they've played, he played close to 60 minutes with him against Man City. He played 90 minutes with him against a team which goes by the names of Omonia. Now, why don't give Lindelof another 90 minutes against Everton and we rest Rafael Varane? Maybe if at all he needs some minutes, we play like some 20 minutes in the game of Omonia. You get? I think that's better, because Lindelof can come in and really get this, because bringing Varane back and having him back is really a very bad decision for me, because we're having Newcastle next and Chelsea in the Premier League, and we need to get him back to full fitness, and I believe it's better not to play him in the game of Everton. But I don't know what the manager is going to go in for. That's why I've chosen Lindelof. Let's wait and see what the manager is really going to come and really show us. Now, to me, one of the best players for Manchester United this season, Lisandro Martinez. Looking short, but he's really a very good player. And if at all you've been watching these games of football of Manchester United versus the side which goes by the names of Omonia, Man City, and very many other matches, this guy has always come in through and really done something that most of you had not yet given an eye. In the game of Liverpool, the first goal we score, it's because of that one touch he plays in to find Elanga. You get? Then he has been doing this. He did this in the game of Man City a lot. Then in the game of Omonia, this is where it really came in through and really got appreciated. And I saw videos of him really trending on Twitter, as far as that pass really passed in to find that pass that really passed in to find a man who goes by the names of Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford did a back heel, and obviously it found Anton Martial, and Martial really cut inside and really scored that goal. So those line-breaking passes for United, he really did a line-breaking pass that really resulted into the second goal of United against Omonia. And I think that's why people really started to share this, but he has been doing this game in, game out. And in the game of Liverpool, I think it was only me who came out and really gave him credit for the first goal of United, because when they passed that ball to him, all Liverpool players knew that, oh, Lisandro Martinez is going to just go on and really control it, and then we reorganize ourselves. But he really went for a single touch, and for that one touch, he found Anthony Elanga. Anthony Elanga did a square to find Ericsson. Ericsson did a one touch to find Elanga. Elanga got past one Liverpool defender, played into Sancho. Sancho sat down Virgil van Dijk and Alisson plus James Milner, and boom, it went into the back of the net. So that is the beauty of Lisandro Martinez. And those that don't really appreciate this guy, you should start to appreciate him, because he's really a very wonderful player. And I really believe that he's going to play into the left back of the central defense, and he's really one of those that has really gonna hit to improve. Now, let's get into this, where lots of calls are really going to be made in here. To me, Casemiro on any day should start in this game against Scott McTominay. I've seen people knowing the role of Casemiro. Guys, Casemiro protects the back four and gets that ball from the back four and connects it to the midfield, and he passes through the central axis. That is Casemiro. He has those long balls on him. That one-touch passing of him is really good, and really quick passing is part of him. And if I told you to really beat down teams like these, Everton, expect that quick passing to be part of our game. You saw that game of Omonia. All the 3 goals we scored, it was because of quick passing, something that really lacked in our game when you're playing in the first half. In the first half, we had the lion's share of the possession, and obviously in the entire game. But in the first half, specifically because we never scored, that's where I'm really putting a lot of emphasis on. These guys, the Sanchos, Anthony, Ronaldo, Bruno, didn't do that quick passing. When you look at the first goal we scored, Bruno does a long ball that finds Rashford, and Rashford really scores. Second ball, it's because Lisandro Martinez does a line-breaking pass to find Rashford. Rashford does a one-touch. Martial cuts inside and obviously curls it to the back of the net. The third one, it's those interpasses between Ronaldo and Rashford, and I think they are one touches. So that quick passing, if at all it starts to develop from the midfield area, then you are better at getting a team like Everton and really beating them off the grip, because I believe Everton is going to go out and really sit at the back. That's it. They are going to sit at the back, and they want to get us on the counter. The likes of Anton Gordoni and the likes of which other player? The likes of Gray are really going to be so much into action from those wide areas of the attacking midfield. So to me, I start Casemiro over Scott McTominay, because I know he's really going to protect the back four, and he can really overpower that midfield of a team which goes by the name of Everton, that consists of Onana. They're having Idrissa Gueye, and obviously this Nigerian who goes by the names of Iwobi. That is the midfield 3 that Frank Lampard has always gone with ever since he really started to really get these wins. Then Ericsson, to me, is a constant. Though he has not been playing well these 2 games against Man City, even yesterday, even on Thursday, never played very well. So I believe we can't really see any change for Ericsson, because the manager has really shown us that Ericsson is a constant. And by the way, you see the reason as to why he's a constant, because even when he plays very badly, he has special moments he puts in that game of football, and the reason as to why he has been kept on as a constant. No player in that United side can come in and get his job done. It would have been maybe Danny Van Beek, but Donny Van Beek is injured. I have my friend known as Bisegera, who always watches Zine. He said that he would like to see a double midfield pivot of Casemiro and a player who goes by the names of Scott McTominay, but I don't believe that Erik ten Hag will do it on any day, because he doesn't believe in that. Playing with the 2 sitting CDMs, it doesn't work for him, and maybe Scott McTominay is really better as a number 8 playing a box-to-box role, but maybe he doesn't see him as that kind of player. So I believe that Ericsson should start with Casemiro in that midfield area, and I believe Casemiro will really give us the shield that we deserve to protect the back four in there for you. And obviously those line-breaking passes from Ericsson will really go ahead and really do the needful in this game of football as United takes on a side which goes by the names of Everton. In there, the central attack midfielder, Bruno, looking sloppy again. He has given us like 2 good games, and now we get some other 2-3 bad games. But obviously, I believe him being a captain is going to come in and start, but the unavailability of Danny Van Beek is the reason that is really costing us. I believe Danny Van Beek in a game like this would have really done something great. I've seen Kevin De Bruyne do those things, and I believe Danny Van Beek can do them. So I believe, as Erik Ten Hag told us, that Danny Van Beek is really a very good player. When he came into the game of Brentford, he played very well, but his unavailability is costing his playing time at Old Trafford, and told us that he's back. As I told you, that I don't believe this guy is injured, because he's back and he's training alone, and obviously very soon is really going to join the team to train together. I believe he can really do a very quick return and recovery and play in that Omonia game. Even if he plays some 10 or 20 minutes, I really want to see him on that ball, because I believe with Donny van Beek playing as a central attack midfielder, Anthony, Rashford and Martial playing as our front four guys, we are really going to go ahead and really be a threat to very many teams, because Danny Van Beek is not like Bruno. He will go on and really get you a pass that is going to really split or break the lines of those solid defenses like that of Newcastle, even Chelsea. You see, Chelsea is even going to hit to win 3-0. So we are playing to Chelsea like 2 weeks from now. So we need Danny Van Beek to get back to his levels, because Bruno is really looking sloppy, and I believe time has come for Bruno to be dropped in a certain game of football right about now. Now, Anthony, obviously, to me, starts off the right at the midfield. I think he's trying to really get himself back to the levels we know him about, because he's trying to get back his pace, taking off players, and going in for those shots outside the 10 box area, like the one he scored against Man City. And you saw him, he tried out three of those shots in the game of Omonia. So if at all he can average like 5 out of those in a full game, maybe you'll find that he can really average a goal in every 2 games as played, because in the Premier League he has scored in every game he has played in the Premier League. Scored against Arsenal and scored against Man City. And I believe tomorrow it might be his day, because that shot from that side is not inevitable. It can't be really resisted, and we just have to find space for him to do that, and obviously we need to go ahead and do that. So I believe Anthony is going to give us some good balance of the left, of the right side of the midfield. And Marcus Rashford, the man who banged in a brace in the game of Omonia, I believe he'll start onto the left attacking side of the midfield. And obviously the battle between Anton Martial and Ronaldo. Guess who to me I believe is going to start? It's all about Anton Martial. Reason being, Anton Martial played 20 minutes, I think, against Man City. He played 30 against a team which goes by the names of Omonia, and he scored a goal. He scored a brace against Man City. Ronaldo, who would have started this game of football, played 90 minutes against Omonia, and there is no way a 37-year-old guy plays 90 minutes in the game of Omonia and then he comes in through and really starts in the game of Everton with the intensity we want to start with and kill off this game immediately. Ronaldo will just have to come from a bench, and I believe Anton Martial is going to start and lead the line for a side which goes by the names of Manchester United. So that is my starting 11 of Manchester United. I don't know what you think about it, but as you look at this starting 11, there are people that are really going to be so much pivotal. One, Diego Dello is going to be facing Anthony Gordon, but I believe he's really one of those that is really silent the likes of Luis Diaz, Martinelli, and very many others. The Harvey Barnes of this world, he really pocketed them, and I believe today is going to pocket Anthony Gordon. Then Luke Shaw is going to be facing Gray, and I believe Gray is also pocketable by Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw is good defensively, and even if it was Malacia, he would have gone ahead to go and pocket that. But it's going to depend on to how Marcus Rashford and Anthony track back every time we lose this game of football, because if you don't track back, we are less in numbers, and obviously that's the reason as to why teams like Man City really had a very good first half against us, because Anthony and Sancho never tracked back as they're supposed to be tracking back, and we obviously lost that game of football in there for you. But for this midfield of Casemiro and Eriksen, they both know what to do, experienced players, all in their early 30s, and obviously they can really overpower Onana, Gueye, and Iwobi with the skill set they have and the experience. But this man here, Bruno Fernandes. I don't want to see him really play. I don't want to see him play those Hollywood passes in the side of Manchester United. I want him to go out and really play a much better side or type of game. Now let's get into these stats as we really sign out, because you need to know them. Now, we've been told that following a 1-0 win over Manchester United in April, Everton are willing to win consecutive Premier League games against the Red Devils for the first time since winning both games in the season of 2013-2014. That is Everton for you. Remember, they beat us 1-0 at Goodson Park last season. Then we are being told by BBC that Manchester United have won just one of their past 7 Premier League matches against Everton with 4 draws, 2 losses. A 3-1 away win in November 2020. They had won 5 of their 7 against the Toffees before. That 3-1, I will remember, it was really one of those games that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to be sacked because we had lost to what team, and then he went ahead to lose to Turkey at Istanbul Başakşehir, and we came back here and I saw Bruno score a brace. Bruno scored a brace against Everton, and Cavani played his first game for United and he scored. So that's the last time we beat them at their side. And I remember that there is a game they came to Old Trafford and we drew 3-3. United led it by 2 goals to nil in the first half, but obviously they came up and leveled the game and even scored the leveler in the dying minutes by Calvert-Lewin. Then Everton have won their past 2 Premier League games, having won just 1 of their previous 10. They last won 3 in a row in March 2021 under Carlo Ancelotti. So they are in fine form. 3 games, their recent 3 games, they've won 2 and drawn 1. For us, in our last 3 games, we've lost 1 and won 2. We beat Leicester City, we beat Arsenal, and obviously went ahead to lose to Man City by 6 goals to 1. So that is our recent form in the last 3 games that we played. Not bad, but I believe we can really do something better against Everton. United have lost 8 of their past 10 Premier League away games, keeping a clean sheet in both victories. However, the Red Devils scored as many goals in their 6-3 defeat after defeat against Man City last time out as they had in the previous 8 away league games combined. So I believe with those stats, we are really good to go and to cause a lot of havoc to decide which goes by the names of Everton. And by the way, ever since Rafael Varane has been into this game of football playing away, I think we've only conceded in 1 game, that is Man City, but we kept a clean sheet against Southampton, we kept a clean sheet against Leicester City, and obviously I believe that we can go ahead and really keep a clean sheet against Everton because we have all what's required to go on and really get a result. And my prediction, guys, 2-0, 3-0 Manchester United. I believe the firepower of Anthony Martial and Rashford plus Anthony is really going to cost Everton this game. Them having Maupi, Gray, Anthony Gordoni, it's not a bad team, but obviously if we are really going to use these players and on the form they are, I believe Martial, Rashford, Anthony are really going to be so much deadly in this game of football because Martial and Rashford have been playing together ever since 2016. Those are how many years? 6 years together. They know one another. And when I saw that goal they scored in between them, the second one against Omonia, it really took me back in that season of 2019-2020 where Martial scored 23 goals and Rashford scored 22 goals, because in those 45 goals scored in between these two forwards of United, I think they had like 15 goals when the movement was in between these two. That's it. They have the pace, they have the skill, though Anthony Martial really has a better skill set than a player who goes by names of Rashford, but their connection can really break down any team. And seeing them on the field of play tomorrow or today, Everton needs to go ahead and do the needful. Every match they've brought in Taugoski, is it Taugoski and Cody into their defense. I believe we are really going to hurt them. We are really going to hurt them because Rashford, Martial, Anthony, that is an overdose to that back four. And obviously Martial really has a very good record against the side which goes by the names of Everton, as you've been knowing about this. Even last season when we drew 1-1 at Old Trafford, it's Martial that scored, and it's the only goal he scored for United that season before he really left for a side which goes by the names of Sevilla, where he also scored only 1 goal in the UEFA Europa League. So I believe we are really going to get a result that is positive, and we are winning such that we go up and level to 15 points. When you look at the Premier League table, tomorrow's game is really so much important. Reason being, Arsenal is coming into this game, is going to play tomorrow, and they're having 9 games. We've played, so Arsenal has played 8, and we are having 7. So when you look at the battle of the top 4, Chelsea is having 16 points, meaning that if at all we win tomorrow, we'll be having 15. We need to be close to these teams that are really in the top 4, because we don't want to see them go far away than us. Look at Spurs. Spurs is having 20, and they've played 2 more games than us. Win our 2 games in hand, we're at 18 points, meaning that we can really go ahead and really get our season back to the road by really beating a side which goes by the names of Everton tomorrow. So guys, thank you very much for watching. In your reactions and your predictions are welcome in the comment section below. I hand you over the Almighty Lord. I think the last video of the day. Bye bye and good night.